Welcome to the show. I got a fire pit going here. It's a little hot, actually. Ooh, hello. Wife made a cameo. I got another batch from my good friend in Pennsylvania. We trade some beers, some stuff local here, some stuff local over there. This one I'm particularly excited about. This is Milkstave IPA from Tired Hands. This is the Kiwi strawberry version. Kiwi and strawberry. So I've heard, it's funny, a few different people have reached out and they're like, oh, that one's really interesting. And I always, it raises an eyebrow when somebody says it's interesting, because is that good? Is it bad? Is it just different? And is it different, something you like or just innovative and something maybe you don't like? So we got to find out for ourselves. Boys, you're going to have to smell this. I'm going to leave a little extra headspace or room there so that I can... Oh, you should smell this. Oh, your hands are all greasy. Here, just come on this side.
It doesn't smell like Star Wars because it's Star Wars.
Because it's May the 4th?
Mm-hmm.
Did you smell?
Wait. Ooh. May the 4th with you all.
May the 4th be with you all. Jack, you want to smell?
Sure.
All right, come on over. Get your nose in there. Just don't get your pizza face on there.
Smells like strawberry and kiwi.
It should smell like strawberry and kiwi. Very fruity, and here's what I would say about the aroma. So many breweries...
It doesn't smell like strawberry, but it smells like kiwi.
I mean, it smells really fruity. I definitely get strawberry on the nose. Not as red. Sometimes beers that have strawberries, end up turning it pretty red. So that always makes me curious if it doesn't. What I was going to say is, so many breweries, when they use fruit, it doesn't taste like the fruit or smell like the fruit. It's like you start getting into some extracts and some artificial kind of stuff, ways to try and make it taste a certain way. And I mean, this to me smells like real fruit. It smells good. It smells really good to me. I'm very excited. Sometimes, with the I love shooting outside. I'm like watching birds fly around. Got my kids here. I got the fire table cooking, boys. Are you hot?
I'm cold.
You cold?
I can't get hard on my face.
But what I was going to say is, what was I going to say? that with the Tired Hands, when they do their milkshake series, so this is Milkstave, and I don't know the history here. I think this is normally only in bottles, and this is the first time they're doing it in a can. Check that fact. But I know it's sold out really quick. But their other series that they do, their milkshake series IPA, I always loved the restraint. It still smells like an IPA, and then you kind of have to hunt for the fruit. This is the opposite. This is, the fruit is there, and then there's some hops in there, but you have to almost kind of search for the hoppiness in and amongst a lot of fruit flavor. So anyway, 4 minutes already. I better get to it. Cheers. Oh, the fire. Okay, I think I know what's happening here. Here's the deal. First of all, let me just say, I like this a lot. This is a really, really tasty beer for me. It's great. Here's why people say it's interesting. So the same way the milkshake series tastes like an IPA, but there's a subtle hint of something else. This is much more in line with almost like a very mild kettle sour beer. It's further from IPA. So when they put, Milkstave IPA on the label, people go in thinking IPA. like a certain expectation of hoppiness. And to me, if IPA wasn't on the label and they said Milkstave fruited kettle sour or something, like this would probably get higher ratings, like on Untapped and things. I think it's at like 3.8. Man, I'm burning up on the fire. But it's really fruity. There's a lot of complexity. There's a hint of bitterness that comes through at the end that still lets you know it's on an, kind of an IPA base, but it's really hidden in there. Here, they actually talk about it. Why didn't I just read this? Naturally soured milkshake IPA. Okay, so naturally soured. So it is a sour. I mean, a kettle sour. Brewed with a heavy amount of fluffy oats, lactose, sugar, hopped up, and dry hopped intensely with mosaic and citra. I would not have expected dry hopping. With dry hopping, it's aromatically expressive usually, and this to me, this is more fruit. Like the hops are hidden behind the fruit. So shocked actually to hear that it's dry hopped. And note to self, I should just read the can because there's a lot of stuff going on here. Fermented entirely in a French oak foeder. That's like a big oak barrel kind of. It's not a barrel, it's like a big cylinder thing. In a magical mixed culture. So they kettle sour it. So it is a kettle sour. I was right that they should call this a kettle sour. Or maybe they don't sour it in the kettle, they sour it in the foeder, whatever. So fresh strawberry and kiwi puree. So again, real fruit. Bright, hoppy. See, they're saying it's super hoppy. This is not super hoppy to me. I mean, God, it's really good. Here's another thing that I like, and I promise I'm almost done. This is getting me kind of fired up, kind of stoked. One thing I really like about this, sometimes, I love the mixed fermentation beers, the funky beers, and I'm wondering if this is, fermented entirely. It tastes a little bit like there's some Brettanomyces going on, and that's a bacteria that causes, it's for the long-aged sour beers, but I don't think they do that with this, but it tastes like it. It gets a little bready around the edges. Maybe it is. I got to do some research. I tend to like the long-aged sour beers that use the mixed culture more than the kettle sour, which is just lactobacillus to make it tart. So for me, this is very much in line with the kinds of beers I find really, really interesting. I don't drink them enough, but I geek out on the sour beer stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna go look into this beer more and see exactly. I should have done a little research ahead of time so I'm not flubbing around here verbally. Yeah, there's just enough funk there that makes me think maybe they, I don't know what that mixed culture is that they add, but maybe there is a little bit of other wild yeast or bacteria that they use and play with. So anyway, I like it. I approve. I think it's delicious. Thank you for sharing, and thanks for tuning in. Cheers.